All right. Oh, wow. We timed this right as the song was starting to re-loop. That's perfect. Hello,
Perfect
everyone.
timing.
Oh, man. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of HP Critical Plus. I'm your host, Brandon, and I am joined by the wonderful Christy.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone, indeed. And, oh, my God, Christy, we're finally doing this. We're finally doing this after talking about this for almost a year now. Our schedule finally opened up as such that we could finally play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, the original one. Now, we got right here, the trilogy, and I will point out that at some point we are going to do the entire trilogy, but, of course, this playthrough just focus on the first game for now. But yeah, she and I have been talking about this game forever. We have, in our own time in the past, enjoyed this series immensely. Christy, I gotta ask you, where was your first experience of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, the trilogy? Was it on DS, WiiWare? Where was your system of first getting it?
It was actually on the DS. My friend, he lent me a copy of his game because he was like, "You need to play this. You need to try this game. It is great." And yeah.
It all went from there. Yeah. I didn't quite make the DS release of the game, unfortunately. I can't say I'm OG, but I guess none of us really OG because the original release, if we want to get really technical, was the Japanese Game Boy Advance release, which didn't get localized. And it's crazy to think that those same Game Boy Advance releases have just been re-released and re-released over these last few years. This trilogy, I believe, this HD trilogy, I believe was done in 2014, as the date there says, and I think this Switch and console port came out in 2019. But yeah, my first time experiencing the series was on WiiWare, because I don't know. Do you remember the Nintendo channel that was on the Wii, Christy?
Nintendo channel.
It was one of those.
Vaguely.
Yeah, they had these. On the Nintendo channel, they had all these different videos. They also had Nintendo Week, which was like a weekly show they did as well. But it was there that I saw trailers for the original Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney with the WiiWare controls, and you were doing the objections and the take that's with the Wii remote. You don't have to. You could also do a button. But they said, hey, we're doing the Wii. Why don't we just add optional motion controls? Which I did use because it really made me feel like I was really pointing my finger. So I did that. But yeah, that was my first time playing those games, and I had a lot of fun. It was super hype playing it like that. I replayed it again on the 3DS on the AC console, and I'm about to do it again for a third time, these games, because I love them so much. And you know, I think it's going to be a nice, fresh experience for us to experience these games together, because we both, again, played them on our own time. But I think going through the cases as a duo will really make it like a fresh experience, and I'm just so excited to get started. So, are you ready to get this going?
I guess so.
Let's do this. So, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We're gonna hit that new game button, and then yeah, you can choose to start off any one of the games. This Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney came out in 2001. Its original Japanese release was in 2001. You have the second game, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All, which was the second game, original release 2002. Wow, only a year later? That's crazy. And then 2004 was the third game, Trials and Tribulations. As I said, eventually we're going to get through all three of these games, but the focus is just for the first one right now. So let's get started. And, well, you know what? Let's not look at those posters because they're kind of spoilers. Why do they just... Okay, never mind. It doesn't matter. So yeah, we're going to do the episode 1, the first Turnabout. Alright. Right off the bat, just blood.
Not
Damn it!
at all.
Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. So, for people who have never played the games before, a trope in the series is for the very first case, you just clearly see who the killer is. So, because, it's the first game, they kind of want you to have an idea already, the player that is, to know who the killer is, so you can have a goal to work towards while you learn the mechanics of the game, which I think is a really good way to do it. Obviously, the later in the game you get, now it's a mystery to everyone, so you are learning with Phoenix Wright, basically, who the killer is, but I like how in the beginning they just, yeah, here's the killer. You the player, know. Your Ace Phoenix Wright doesn't, but you'll learn. But I think that's really cool. And yeah, let me just, as a little personal memory, again, as someone who had never played the game all the way back on the WiiWare days, starting the game off with like a bloody trophy and someone just yelling "damn it" was quite a shocking thing. I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be quite a ride, isn't it?" That was just my first impression. But anyways, August 3rd, 9:47 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous.
Right!
Oh, hiya, Chief.
Phew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you. And your client as well.
Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor.
Favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case?
Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney.
That's news to me?
I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! My life, everything is all over!
Is that your client screaming over there?
Yeah, it's him. Death! Despair! Oh! I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna die!
Sounds like he wants to die.
Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty! Tell him I'm guilty! Give me the death sentence! I ain't afraid to die! What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished! Finished! I can't live in a world without her. I can't! Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me who took my baby away. The person responsible for your girlfriend's death. Newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts, my best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. Here we go, August 3rd, 10 o'clock a.m., District Court, courtroom number 2. They're very good about starting right on time, by the way. It's always right at 10 o'clock they start the case.
It's always very surprising.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Hand shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. It's me! I kind of want to know what happens if I say it's me.
I mean...
The defendant is me, right?
Right! Have you completely lost your mind? Focus! The defendant is the person on trial. You're his lawyer!
Oh yeah, right!
This is no laughing matter. You did pass the bar, didn't you?
Sorry, I couldn't hear your answer. I'll ask once more. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. I gotta say.
Low-key one.
It's you.
I kind of wonder.
The, defendant? That's, Mia Fey?
Wrong, right. Look, I have to leave. I have to go home. I'm expecting the delivery.
Aw, come on, Chief. There's no need to be going so soon, is there?
Listen, Wright. The defendant is the one on trial. Your client. I mean, that's about as basic as you can get.
I put my foot in it this time. I've gotta relax. Okay, now we'll say the right answer. Larry Butts.
I love how the judge pretends that he doesn't hear.
Yeah, honestly. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Phew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report over so many times. It's... Wait. Oh. No, wait! I forgot! I'm drawing a total blank here!
Thanks, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name?
Oh, the victim! Of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily.
I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press the R button to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you.
Mr. Wright, who was the victim in this case? Mia Fey! Mia Fey?
What? How can I be the victim?
Oh, right. Sorry. It was the first name that popped in my head, and,
The court record button. Remember to use it when you're in a pinch with the R button.
Before I continue reading, my cousin Jeremiah is here and I'm playing through Wind Waker HD now. Ayo! I love Wind Waker HD. I love it, love it, love it.
I need to play it.
Let me ask that one again. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? I know what the answer is. I'm just gonna say Cinder Block. Oh, wasn't it Miss Block? Miss Cinder Block? The person in question was a victim of murder, not ill-conceived naming, Mr. Wright. He says that! He says that! But these names in this series, though? Jeremiah says, I've pretty much been on a Zelda marathon waiting for Skyward Sword HD. I can understand that. And there's a very good chance I might do a lot of Zelda games in the future. Well, you know, once Nintendo announces some actual anniversary plans. But, you know, that's a talk for another day.
Right? If you forget something, use the R button to check the court record and jog your memory. A mistake in court could cost you the case.
Okay, so let's look at the court record just to show off for the people. So, for newcomers who've never played this game before, you can, like Mia Fey said, you can check the court record at any time. And, you know, you have your evidence page, which will show your evidence. We got the attorney's badge. No one would believe I was defense attorney if I didn't carry this. It's funny that this is always available in your evidence thing, but it's almost like never used in the entire series. It's just there to show that you're an attorney. There is one. I know what you're getting at. There is one, maybe two occasions where it does get used. But it's just funny that it's there because most cases don't use it. But then we have Cindy's autopsy report. Time of death, July 31st, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood due to blunt trauma. And then we press the R button, takes over the profiles. So we got everyone involved in the case. Mia Fey, age 27. Chief attorney at Fey & Co. My boss and a very good defense attorney. Larry Butts, age 23. The defendant in this case, a Lego guy who's been my friend since grade school. Cindy Stone, there's the name of the person who he asked for. The victim in this case, a model, she lived in an apartment by herself. And finally, Winston Payne, age 52, the prosecutor for this case. Lacks presence. Generally bad at getting his points across, which is pretty bad for a prosecutor. But
yeah.
But I love Winston Payne. Like he's just a fun joke character throughout the series. Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was poisoned. Oh, right. Wasn't she, poisoned by her, poison? You're asking me? Chief, help me out!
Check the court record, the R button. Remember?
Jeez, give the guy a break. Let me ask again. She was strangled! Right, she was strangled, wasn't she?
Please tell me that was you talking to yourself.
If you wish to hang yourself, Mr. Wright, you're welcome to, but not inside my courtroom. I suppose there's nothing to do but give you another try. Okay, she was hit with a blunt object.
I love how the first case is always very, very forgiving whenever you mess up.
I can promise all of our viewers that we're not going to be as experimental with our questions going forward, because it'll actually cost us the whole case if we mess around like this. We're doing it now because we can. It's at least an extra funny dialogue, but, you know, just want to let y'all know. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. By the way, this music that plays before the case, specifically in Ace Attorney 1, it always puts me in a very comfortable mood, which is weird because, like, you're about to start a case, and I feel later games, like, give you that more tension. But this one, I hear it and I'm just like, I'm ready to call out some objections. And speaking of, you seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor? As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was a statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. You see, the court accepted into evidence. Statue added to the court record. A statue in the shape of the Thinker. It's rather heavy.
Right? Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. Evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use the R button to check the court record frequently.
Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now?
Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. Get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate.
Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Look how smug he always looks. Ahem! Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey! Watch it, buddy! We were great together! We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony! Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me, ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by, dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies! All of it lies! I don't believe a word of it! Your Honor, the victim's passport. By the way, I love how the passport says United States of America. You know, this is kind of a taboo topic to talk about among Ace Attorney fans. But, you know, if you play the Japanese version of this game, that passport might look quite different. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. This game takes place in America, of course. There's nothing else to say.
Burgers.
Burgers. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Okay, passport. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on July 30th, the day before the murder. Okay. Indeed. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now?
Right? I don't think you want him to answer that question.
Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I... Ooh, This one I don't think we can experiment both. We gotta actually think about this. You know what? In this situation, I would just stop him from answering. I'm gonna choose that. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oh!
Objection.
Dude, Nick! What do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog! I'm gonna die! I'm just gonna drop dead! Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm going to get to the bottom of this! Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy. This is so not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't, huh? Uh-oh, he went. What do I do?
I think you do have to stop.
Larry, shut up. I'll send him a signal. Lie like a dog. Well, see, it's like this. I don't remember. You don't remember? Well then, we'll just have to remind you. Got a bad feeling about this. We have a witness that can prove he did go to the victim's apartment that day. Well, that simplifies matter. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sowett to the stand.
I saw it. Huh.
Look at his business. Mr. Sowett, you sell damn it, his name. Mr. Sowett, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sowett, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder.
All
right. Testimony time. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 o'clock p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sowett used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Okay. Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor?
All right, Wright, this is it. The real deal.
What exactly am I supposed to do?
You exposed the lies. Why? You exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave.
Lies? What? He was lying?
Your client is innocent, right? That witness must have lied in his testimony. It's been a day. Or is your client really guilty?
How do I prove he's not?
You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there.
Yes, contradictions.
Just find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. And once you found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face.
Okay.
Open the court record with the R button, then point out contradictions in the testimony.
Witness's account. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's right. There's a... Wait, hold on. What? Oh, that's right. For the, hold on. I'm actually going to move my webcam to, like, the top left because people can't see the health bar. There we go. So yeah, that's our health bar on the right. That's as many mistakes we can get. I believe in original Ace Attorney, you can make up to 5 mistakes before you get a game over. But we have a few options here. First off, we can go to options here. We can save it literally any time. We can also change settings as we need to. But we're okay. This is just the beginning. So I'm going to press him here. Isn't a man leaving an apartment a common sight? I find it odd that you would take notice of him. I don't know. He just seemed strange to me, that's all. Like he was mad and yet frightened at the same time. Just like a criminal fleeing the scene of a crime. The defense requested the witness refrain from conjecture. Of course, what the witness means is that the man he saw looked suspicious. So, what happened next? Half open, you say? Yes, the door was open halfway, yes. I watched for a moment, but no one came to close the door. That's odd in a big city like this, I thought. I see, and what happened next? You can strange look inside the apartment. What gave you the idea to do that? Well, the door was half open, you see. Isn't it only humans who want to peek? We climb mountains because they are there. It's the same thing. Truer words have never been spoken. Anyone would look inside. Why did Payne cut him off so quickly? So you looked into the apartment. What happened then? I saw her lying there, a woman not moving dead. Are you sure she was dead? Well, no, I guess I wasn't. But she wasn't moving at all, and there was blood everywhere. I guess that would look fatal to anyone. Very well. What happened next? I quailed in fright and found myself able to look inside. Press. So, you didn't touch anything in the apartment? Yes. I mean, no, nothing. Okay, what happened next? Thought to call the police.
Rule of thumb for Ace Attorney games is that you always want to press.
Yes.
Unless you're absolutely positive.
That you know where it is, exactly. And the thing is, they haven't even given us the press tutorial. I'm just doing it by instinct and just getting extra dialogue. Which is why they'll give us, for everyone watching, they will give us the press tutorial in a second. But I am pressing the L button to press and get more information on each statement. You thought to call the police? Does that mean you didn't actually call them? Please, listen to the rest of the testimony. You thought to call the police. What happened next? However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. The phone in her apartment wasn't working? Yes, I mean, no. No, it wasn't. Right. But you said you didn't go into the apartment. Or did you? Oh, that? I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on the shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call. And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next? I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. Why use a public phone? Well, you see, I don't have a cell phone. And being the middle of the afternoon, there was no answer at the nearby apartments. Alright. What time did you call again? I remember the time exactly. It was 1 o'clock p.m. Doesn't show you how many statements there are, right?
Oh. I don't think so.
Maybe not in this game. 1 o'clock p.m. Are you certain? Yes, absolutely. He seems really confident.
1 p.m.? Right? Doesn't that seem strange to you? Present some evidence to contradict him.
The man who was without a doubt and the defendant sitting right over there. Let me press this thing just before he...
Yeah, after you press it, it will make you loop again.
Yep. Are you absolutely 100% positive? Yes, it was him. No mistake about it. The witness says he's certain.
It's all of it. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere. Examine the court record with the R button if something strikes you as being suspicious. And find the evidence that contradicts his testimony and present it to the court.
Okay, we found the statement, so we're gonna go right over to it. Yeah, I don't see like an indicator showing how many statements there are, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, he said it was 1 o'clock p.m.
I think it's the autopsy.
I believe. Yes, that's what it was. And ready? 1, 2, 3. Objection! You found the body at 1 o'clock p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 o'clock p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Here we go. I love this song. Dun, 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 dun. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death is sometime after 4 o'clock p.m. There was no body to find at 1 o'clock p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? This is trivial! The witness merely forgot the time! After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sawit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 o'clock p.m.? That's a really good question.
Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart.
Wait! I remember now! Would you care to give your testimony again? The time of discovery. Here we go. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 o'clock p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Wait. Know what to do.
I've got this one. You said I heard the time. You said heard, not saw? Yes, heard. All I saw was the body lying there. I didn't think to look at anything else, least of all my watch. Isn't that a little strange? So you're saying you heard something, but if you were so shocked by the body, you wouldn't hear anything at all. The witness did say that he actually heard the time. It's ludicrous to suggest he wouldn't hear anything. I have to agree with the prosecution. Witness, continue your testimony. We'll say it's going to television. Are you sure it was a television and not a radio? Well, no, I guess it might have been a radio. Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television.
Wait. Can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Hey,
my cousin Jeremiah already figured it out. How did he hear the tape program if the power was out at the time he found the body? Hey, this is exactly what I'm here for. Our viewers come figuring them out as well. Yeah, solve the cases with us. It's great. We're gonna keep reading the statements, but yeah, that's a contradiction.
Something about hearing the television.
The witness has testified. He heard the time. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, was it? How do you explain the gap? Well, witness, can you explain this? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. Video? Yes, that would explain why the time was wrong. True.
Right? I think the problem lies someplace else.
We're agreed that you heard the time at the scene then. That's why I thought it was 1 o'clock p.m. Are you sure the voice you heard said it was 1 o'clock p.m.? Yes, I can practically hear it now. It was quite clear. Mr. Payne, has the prosecution verified this testimony? My apologies, Your Honor. I, too, have only just learned that the witness heard the time. Oh, I'm really sorry. I only just remembered it just now. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Well, you just watch it! Not much point pressing him on that one, was there? Okay. Must have been watching... Let me see. Coming from the television. This is a statement, right? Okay. And here's the blackout record. Objection! Hold it right there! The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Ah! Well... The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite! Ah! Wait! I remember now! Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear testimony once more, please. Hearing the time. Oh boy.
Dun dun dun.
Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Oh, the music's speeding up. That means we're getting closer. Let's press him here. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. That strikes me as a very suspicious mistake. Yes, I can see I'd be a little doubtful. I'm really sorry. I only just remember that table clock. A table clock? There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah. A table clock. Was there a clock at the scene? This is the first I've heard of it. Yeah, the murder weapon the killer used to hit the victim. The murder weapon? Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? Something's fishy here. That must have been what I saw. Why didn't you tell us that in the first place? I guess it just slipped my mind. I'm not really sure how it happened myself. The witness says he saw the table clock. End of story.
Now find the contradiction.
Oh, I know exactly where it is.
Oh.
The murder weapon. This is a damn statue! Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was a statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock? Here we go, I love this song. Cornered. You with your objections and your evidence! Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock! Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submit it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon...
That does not happen in real life.
I know! So the murder weapon was the table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? Yes. Your Honor, there's a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly, a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. I probably could have given him the wrong answer then, but it's fine. But it's okay. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went in there! I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Solid, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture! Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never! Look, the clock! I heard, no! I mean, I saw! Shut up! I hate you! It was him! I tell you, I saw him! He killed her, and he should burn! Burn! Give him death! Order! Order in the court, I say! Your Honor, a moment, please! There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims! Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound of the witness came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is writing on this. I better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Solid heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... Damn it, the health bar is there. I can't give wrong answers.
No.
Oh, I should have done it before. I believe the answer is try sounding
now.
What?
It's safe now. Say the wrong answer, then reload the game.
That's true. We can do that. Examine the clock's batteries. All you have to do is examine the batteries. The batteries are in the right way. The clock seems to be working fine. What exactly did you mean, Mr. Wright? That the clock was working fine. Jeremiah says, so how is the judge still unconvinced that he was the one who killed her at this point? that judge is notorious for being kind of like a bit slow sometimes. Yes, and I'm sorry. I think I got confused back there with all those testimonies. Mr. Wright, I expect more from a lawyer in this court, even if it is your first day. I'm afraid I have to penalize you. Try to think things through more carefully. Yes, Your Honor. As I was saying... Okay, right. I better think it through carefully. Ask the neighbors. All you have to do is talk to the victim's neighbors. Talk to the neighbors? I'm sure one of them heard the clock tell the time when the incident occurred. I see. Does the prosecution have anything to say, Mr. Payne? We have already made all the necessary inquiries. Everyone living near the victim's home was out at the time of the murder. Furthermore, even if a neighbor had heard the clock, that would not prove that Mr. Solid had heard anything. That is true. I believe you may be wrong, Mr. Wright. You'll receive a penalty for that, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Okay, let's load now. Now that we... Huzzah! Let's try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, right here in this courtroom. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Ah! As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Solid heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Solid... Oh, I thought he was talking for a second. Try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing! Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing! How do you know it's running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case! He's right. How am I gonna prove that? Damn it! I was so close! Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens! You treat me like a criminal! A criminal! You liars are all slime! Ugh, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now.
Not so fast, Mr. Sawit.
Chief!
Listen up, Wright. Throw this one away. Like this. Think.
But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that.
Well, yes. That doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and... through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow?
Should I say no just to see?
I don't want you to get a game over. Do that.
How am I supposed to know that?
I know you can figure it out. There must be some evidence in the court record. Something that can show why the clock was 3 hours slow. Find it, and he won't have a foot to stand on.
Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Do you have any evidence to prove this? This is it. All or nothing. Yes, Your Honor. I believe I have the evidence that can prove my claim. I'd like to see that! Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Oh, I know this very well. That would be the passports. Christy, I just want to say that when I figured this out years ago, I must have been like, I don't know. When did I play this? This was like 2008, so this was like 13 years ago. When I figured this out when I was like in my like later teens, I felt like so freaking smart. Like I felt like a freaking genius. It's like, oh, time zones, of course. And that was the reason why I ended up loving the series. That it made you like really think about it, not just like, oh, that's literally contradicts a word there, but it also makes you just think about just in general time zones and stuff like that. You know.
Exactly.
The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 o'clock a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Order! Order, I say! Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, you're a witness? He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. We did it! And with that, this court is adjourned. Woo! That's case 1. It turns out that Frank Sowell was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sowell let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sowell grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. Whew, I still can't believe we won.
Right. Good job in there. Congratulations.
Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you.
Not at all. Not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen the trial end on such a satisfying note.
I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over! Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick! Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no! I mean, bad! Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my son knew when he's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind.
Congratulations, Harry.
Harry?
Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent.
I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat.
Oh no, I couldn't.
Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey! Here, take this. It's a present.
Present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that...
Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me.
Really? You? You made this? Oh, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento.
Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to just cry? Larry.
Are you so sure?
Squeeze me.
I think she thought quite a lot of you, in her own way.
Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, it's okay.
Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Do you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him?
Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? So, when I played this game for the first time, I got this part wrong. This is a very rare instance of post case evidence where you can just make the ending just a little bit better. But I got it wrong the first time, so Larry was sad. But here we go. Here's what you gotta present. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Oh, did you already say it? Or I didn't hear you. Hello? Uh-oh. Did she get cut off?
I'm back! It got frozen.
Okay. Are you still frozen?
Nope. I just can't see the screen now, unfortunately.
Ooh, hold on. Let me see if I can fix that then.
Sorry.
No, it is not your fault. I will fix it now. Okay, all good?
It says stream failed to start.
What? Oh no, don't do this now.
Anything can do this. There we go.
Got it? I just put it...
I can't just watch the Twitch.
Oh, okay. I hope it's not too big of a delay.
Okay. I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Oh no. Did I get cut off again?
What?
Oh, can you hear me now? Or
yes,
no?
I can hear you.
Okay. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. Oh no. People too. There's a slight delay on my end, but that's a-okay. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off?
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, how about dinner on me? We'll treat a toast to innocent butts.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Harry. You were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him.
Yeah. Part, at least.
You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks?
And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me in the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave me." I didn't know it then. But that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end.
The end.
Save your progress. Yes, I will. Incidentally, is it working back? Because I disabled the stream thing on the Discord and put it back on.
Let me refresh my page, so I'm going to disconnect for a bit and then join back in, if that's okay.
Yeah, let me stop the stream real quick on the Discord side and go ahead and, yeah, do that. Let's see if we can get that going. Okay. While she's doing that...
I'm back.
All right, let me try the stream again and see if it fixes itself.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. Is it displaying?
Yes. Huzzah!
Ooh, perfect. All right. Well, it's been literally just an hour.